Welcome on back, everybody. Wild Willy here with the next episode of our Get OP in the DLC walkthrough. So we are in the home stretch. I just stumbled my way through the Dark Light catacombs and got to the bottom and beat the boss the second try, which is good because I think I died more times in the catacombs than I did fighting the boss, and the boss is a pain in the ass. So here we are in the Abyssal Woods at the Forsaken Graveyard. Let me see if I can catch a level after that. Ooh boy, okay, we got 312,000 runes from the guy. All right, so let's see. Let's pick up a couple points of fate, and then I can pick up one more level. Let's pick up some more mind, because I'm going to be trying to do some more casting as we get into some stuff, get my faith up, so I can use some flame spells, lightning spells, all that good stuff. I've been working on leveling up some of my gear. We're still rocking the Clawmark seal. I got that up to plus 20. Incant scaling 214. B scaling in both strength and faith, which is why I'm using this instead of something like the Scadutree seal would be wonderful, because it doesn't weigh anything, it weighs 0, but it probably wouldn't be better until my faith was like level 60. I don't know, it might be better lower, but right now I'm not using anything, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. Let's take this off since we're done with the Holy Dungeon of Doom spammer. And then before we proceed in the zone, we're going to grab our final map fragment that we're missing. What I want to do is I want to do what I meant to do at the beginning of the last episode, and that is grab the golden braid. So what we are going to do is we are going to come up into this area, and the golden braid should be up here somewhere. We're going to go to the Tree Worship Sanctum site of grace, or no, that's for the sunflower. We want to go over here to the Hinterland site of grace. We're going to hop on Torrent right around here. There are going to be 2 Crucible Knights. There's going to be one further down, and you're going to see him off in the distance towards this bridge, and the other one's going to come riding down from here. And what we want to do is ride past this one, don't engage this one, and we're going to just run for it up here. And they're going to be leashed. They're not going to be following us, so we can just run. I just wanted to let you know because, you know, jump scare, all of a sudden there's a second Tree Sentinel coming out. So he's going to come out right from where my head is, and the other one is over there somewhere. We should see the second one off in the distance before the first one looms out. In any event, he's going to pop out there just to our right, and we are going to duck past him and head up there towards those trees. There's the second one over there. They're both coming. I don't care. Only aggroed one of them. You can't follow me up here. Have a nice day. And soon he will get leashed, and we will stop hearing his music. We'll be out of combat. Welcome to the Shaman Village, by the way. There we go. Lovely and peaceful. Much better than 2 giant Tree Sentinels trying to chase you down. And we're just kind of circling around to the right towards that tree right here in the base. And there it is. There's our golden braid. So when you look at our talismans, let's work backwards to that. So we got the Spelldrake Talisman +3 outside of Castle Ensis. We got the Flamedrake Talisman 3 inside the Fort of Reprimand. We got the Boltdrake Talisman +3 inside the Shadow Keep. And then now we have this. And so they are going to all reduce their respective damage types by the utmost. And holy damage is what I wanted to have on for that last guy. But hey, you know, made it through. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought. So we are going to pop back to the Abyssal Woods. And I'm going to talk about what we're going to be doing. So first of all, we're going to be heading down here and grabbing the map. Along the way, there's going to be an NPC invasion. The guy's called the Maddening Hand. He does have a fist attack. It looks kind of like a grab attack, and if he hits you with it, you're just going to die. So, you know, if he starts, you know, like, just back up away from him, whatever, until he's done, and then you can start wailing on him again. The plan is we're basically just going to kind of head south, a little bit southwest, and there's going to be a grace right around here. And then we are going to make our way down here. There's a church where we can grab the map fragment and 2 more Scadutree fragments. And then the last thing we're going to do a couple things, and we'll do that when we have the map. We're going to come out here, kind of over here to the west. There's going to be another site of grace, and then somewhere right up around in here, tucked right below, I always line it up right with this little strip of land to the south of Shaman Village. If you come right down to the south of that, right by Michaelis Cross, that's where our 3rd Scadutree fragment is. And there are going to be some frenzy rats along the way we might have to fight, but that's pretty much it. Reminder, you can't use torrent, so we're just going to be running. I'll put on my lantern, because why not? Put a big light on myself, so all the things in the spooky woods can come and find me. To just wear a bell around my neck, too. So we're just going to proceed along. We won't be invaded until, if I remember correctly, we won't be invaded until after we reach the site of grace. And that's the game developer's nice way of not having us have to run all the way back. This is going to give you some lore. There are some enemies in here that you can't do damage to until you've parried one of their attacks. And they're kind of a pain in the ass. You know, they have like big orange glowy heads. They have 2 little arms, and they'll see you and they'll make a loud shushing noise, and then they're going to teleport to you, and you have to try to kind of roll away or whatever, and then you need either a small or medium shield with parry on it, and you need to parry one of their attacks. They have kind of like a glowy wand in their right hand that they raise up, and as soon as you see it reach the top, that's your parry cue timing. And there's a site of grace near them too, so that you can, you know, or Stake America, you can just die over and over again. So we're going to proceed along. We're heading towards mark number 2. And this is where we're going to get invaded. You see, I got a little bit of madness build up. There's our NPC invader. I'm going to go ahead and buff up because there's nothing else really that we have to deal with. Maybe just a big rat. You can see him patrolling down there. Same strategy for NPC invaders. If he lets me, I'm going to just bloodhound step him to death and then try and beat him down. What's up, buddy? A cow! Oh. And that's what I mean by the grab attack. He'll might kill me. Proc, 1 more, and he's dead. Alright, so not Mad Death showing. You get the Maddening Hand, which is his weapon that he was using. And now we're just heading for the church. There are going to be some giant rats along the way. That's it, in terms of enemies. Baby rats, giant rats. I'm just going to try to run through. I might buff up again, because I'm going to refill my flask. And my stamina thing. There's my giant rat. Let's try and take it out. Same strategy. I'm just going to wail on you. Heal on up. Fill our flasks. What'd you drop me? A broken rune. Okay. 500 runes. Better than the basic variety. And we're just going to keep chugging along. That should be it. And apologies to the person who gets attacked by another rat. Or one of the frenzy goats. Watch out for the frenzy goats. Alright, so here we are. And you coming for me? What are you doing? What are you doing? Run away. Making me nervous. So we got the map. There's a site of grace in here. A couple other things into here too. You come around the side over here. And there is the Frenzy perfume bottle. And then, where is it? Right over here, where by the altar, there are our 2 Scadutree fragments. So let's come over here and rest. We're gonna go back to that second site of grace that we came to just before the invader. Did a good job of putting that in the right place. This is really just going to be kind of due west. It might be a little bit south. It's probably more like there. So let's get rid of that and we'll do that. Okay. So that should be roughly where we're going. Again, you know, there might be rats along the way here. There's one part where we have to drop down and run through. Hopefully we can just run past it and to our grace, past the enemies. And then we're going to kind of be working north, a little bit northwest, past some more rats, and then we'll see some inquisitors. And then we're going to grab the Scadutree fragment, the Scadutree fragment, and we should be able to level up again. We might need one more. So again, no torrent. Don't worry, you won't be the first person who went to reach for your spectral steed. So that was the little part we have to drop down. Kind of hanging out to the right a little bit. Avoid the rats. Something's chasing me. But that's okay, I got a lot of stamina. So now they have dropped aggro. I'm not losing stamina anymore. And there's my grace. Glad to see I did a good job with my mark. We can check my marksmanship. Pretty much right on the money. And then we're headed over here towards number 2. Don't have to worry about making it daytime because, yeah, we're underground. That way is, you can see that's one of those enemies I was talking about. Big orange head, you have to parry them before you can do damage. Totally suck. What do we got? We got a rat. Go ahead and buff up. Baby rat. Hiding over there in the corner. Let's go take out the big one. Running heavy, and then I'm just gonna beat you down. Oh, we got another one. You get a running heavy me? No, you're not. We don't have any poise. Now the baby rat's getting in on it. You're dead. Broken rune. And I'm gonna heal up and proceed along. And like I said, when you see inquisitors, you know you're in the right spot or headed in the right direction. Can't lock onto them, yeah. There's like 4 or 5 of them. So running heavy. Hopefully I can take him out before he can do anything. Same thing with you. Gotta love the reach. A couple more behind me. He's coming over. Thank you for making that easy. And I think that's the last one. That's what the other guy was spamming at us. And I think that's it. And I think this is our Scadutree fragment. Nope, that's a smithing 7. It might be over here. That's our tree. I said it was up against a tree. My mark, where's my mark? Around here somewhere. Let's see how accurate I was with that. Just a little bit off. Okay, so now I can remember those routes. A little bit to the east of where I thought it was. So that's it. We are getting the heck out of here. Let's go somewhere safe so we can look at our prizes. Let's just go back to the round table. Hold. For a second. Talk about what we have left. I don't think I can catch a level. I think I'm up into the 90s now. Yep. 100,000. So almost to another level. I'm one level short of where we should actually be entering the DLC. The DLC recommended level range is 125 to 150. We came here at like level 90 something, 92, something like that. I'll have to go back and look at the first episode. Probably just gonna keep pushing up my faith some more. We'll look at the spells that I can get. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video. We are going to head over here. We can head over here. Not there. Here, where we first entered the zone. We're gonna make it daytime and then we're gonna run around this way. We're gonna run up the peak. There's one more Scadutree fragment on the way in case we need one more. And it's guarded by endlessly dropping boulders, but other than that, it's ground loot. We just have to run past some dragons along the way. But that's not too hard. Okay, Scadutree blessing, use 3. Okay, and then we're gonna we need 3 more. So we're at 14 and 6. That's what I promised at the start of the video. We got the 2 from the Abyssal Woods. So what we have left is we can get 1 from the hippo in the ancient ruins of Rao. We can grab 1 from the Morth ruins from Shiny Pothead Dude, and we're gonna grab 1 right now from the Drake's Peak. So let's go do that. We can get 1 more level. Let's go do it. Hopefully I can fit all that in. It's just a bit of running around. Hopefully Shiny Pothead guy and his Cursed Blade friend won't cause me too much trouble. My strategy is I'm just gonna go in there and run. Kill him, grab the Scadutree fragment, and then try to then run for my life. Like get back on Torrent and ride away. And if I die, whatever. And all I want to do is get that Scadutree fragment. So now, again, Sleeping Dragon in the middle. Not going to mess with that one. Heading over here, kind of northeast. And we're just following along. Kind of hard to get lost. Not a lot of ways you can proceed. Have the red Olgar Bloom. Snatch that up for your collection. No idea what it makes. Other than sleep pots, I'm not much of a crafter. I know how to make blood grease. But in this build, we have Blood Flame Blade, so it's like, nah, don't even need it. Alright, so Spirit Spring first. If you go down there, I want to say there's a cookbook you can get, but there's some undead dudes. I'm not going to bother. Like I said, I'm not a crafting person, so I'm not too worried about it. So we're going to proceed along. We're going to cross the bridge. There's another Grace. And then there are going to be a couple of dragon fights that we are going to ride past. There are going to be 2 dragons fighting each other. Whatever, Drake. Peak Drakes, I forget exactly what they're called. We'll find out in a minute. We'll run past them. I think one of them will spawn a health bar, and we can see its name. And then there's going to be another ancient dragon. So there they are. The strategy here is if you are OCD and you can't wait, then you like kill the dragon that's getting the worst end of the battle here. Jagged Peak Drakes, okay? If you have patience, you just wait. Oh boy, okay. You just wait. And one of them's gonna kill the other one, and then you summon your Mimic and go in and mop them. And for that, I would recommend, I'm gonna pull out my new Dragon Hunter's Great Katana. That first battle you definitely want to do because that's where you get Egon, and then he becomes available in the boss room. So that all the loot's the same. That one shiny was just 8 of those things instead of 1. Okay, so I think this is where we proceed along. I'll tell you in a minute. Looks promising. This might be where, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is where we get our Scadutree fragment. You see our boulder rolling down. Wait for the next one to go by, and then it's right over here. And we just want to go over to the side here, and we're gone. So that's one of the 3. I'm just going to keep taking you to a grace. That's ancient dragon, I forget its name, another lightning dragon, Senisax. And Senisax does lightning damage and is standing in a big puddle of water, so bye-bye. Not doing that. We got the lovely ancient dragon music. Oh, oh. Yeah, okay. Bit much. Very dramatic. Very ancient dragon theme. And we're just coming up here to grab a grace, and then there's one little piece of loot, even though I'm not a crafter. Okay. We're gonna grab this. You proceed along here. There's one more grace that you get to, you head up, kind of up over that way to proceed along to Vale. And then there's a second Egon's cookbook that we can grab over here, tucked away in the corner by all these little lightning slugs. There's the second one. So I'm just gonna ride back to the grace because they're aggro to me, and then we're gonna warp on out of here. Rest. Okay, so we just got the Drake one. Let's go try for the Morth Ruins one. Actually, I'm gonna go to the Shadow Keep, and I'm gonna farm up exactly enough for a level. I need to get to 100,000. The Morth Ruin ones, we might die, so if you have any runes that you don't want to lose, spend them, level up, whatever, before you do it. Hopefully you guys will have better luck than I have, and we'll see in a minute what kind of luck that is. So I will meet you over... We are going to meet outside of Port Reprimand. Here. Morth Highway South, and we're going to come down and we're going to proceed along the cliff edge here and then come over this way to take him and then hopefully run to the grace. Actually, you know, we can come here and kind of come up the road the same way because there's the big dragon fight here too. You kill that, by the way, you get the repeating crossbow. It is just ground loot there, and you can get another ancient somber dragon smithing. But anyway, let me pause the video. I'm gonna go get rid of my runes in case we lose them for this next part, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so welcome back, everybody. We just, I got my level. I am level 125 now. We are almost done with our series, and I have just officially reached the level where we're supposed to enter the DLC. So there are my stats. I just got a level, and I also leveled up my Dragon Hunter's Katana to +10. So that was the somber weapon that I said I was going to do. So we got a +25 Milady, and then we got the +10 Dragon Hunter's Katana. So that part has been fulfilled. We're going to exceed expectations by getting a couple more Scadutree fragments and getting our level up there. Inventory-wise, should be right there. So we have 1 and 2. One more Revered Spirit Ash level. You could do a suicide run on the Rao Ancient Ruins past the Horned Warriors and try and grab one on our way up to where we went through the true pest threat areas with the Kindred of Rot and try and grab one that way. If you proceed through Bellurat, I want to say that there are like two or three of them in there. So you'll be able to catch another level with that. I don't remember any others being out in the world off the top of my head. So I think we need 2 more of those. Let's just verify that. Shadow Realm Blessing. Use 3. All right, so we do need 2 more. Anyway, let's proceed. We'll try it from this direction. It just gets us around to the angle that I want. Remember, this is the shiny pot-headed one, guarded by a Cirque Blade, and the goal is to run down the shiny pothead guy, kill it, grab the Scadutree fragment before the Cirque Blade can get involved. And if that doesn't work, we might have to just kill the Cirque Blade. Or try to. Number of different strategies. I'm trying the snatch and grab approach first. Alright, so let's creep on over to the edge here. Where's my... There he is. Let me lock onto you, bro. Alright. Snatch and grab. Come on, get it. Alright, that worked. Alright, we're out of here. We're just running for the grace. So there you go. There's your foolproof strat. If you can lock onto him, you should be able to take him out and grab the loot before the Cirque Blade aggroes to you and get out clean. Apologies to anybody who has difficulties on that. So that's the Morth Ruins one. So next up, it's going to be the Hippo in the Rao Ruins. And that'll get us our next level. So we want to go over here, just to the entrance, Viaduct Minor Tower, and our Hippo is going to be over down here. Now, there's a little skip you can do. You got to double jump with Torrent, land on a broken pillar, and then you can hop down. And I'm going to show you the safe way. Like, I'll show you the skip. I tried it earlier and died. If you don't land on the pillar, you're going to die to gravity. So I'm going to show you the safe way, which involves taking down an elevator and then kind of running around. I don't remember if this Hippo offers a Stake America if you die. Hopefully we won't find out. But anyway, let's go try to take out the Hippo, and then we will wrap up this episode. Come on outside. Let me pull up the map and just mark our Hippo pond down here. And like I said, I'm not going to try it, but the strat is you run off of this rock, sprinty, and you double jump and you land on that thing, and then you can hop down. The safe way is if you head out past this pond, past the pigs, onto this thing. This is an elevator, and this is going to take you down. There's going to be a blood fiend. You're going to run past the blood fiend. Up over here, we're going to turn left and duck through this hole, and we're out. And then we can just ride on down to where our Hippo is. And like I said, oh, we can summon. All right, well, this just got a lot easier. So we're going to pull out our Mimic, whatever summons you want to use. If you don't want to use the summons, great, that's on you. Let me get off of Torrent. Controller gets so twitchy sometimes about that. Like I'm not even moving and it won't let me do it. Anyway, enough of my complaining. Let's focus. Now we're gonna get back on Torrent. And let's get in there. Same strategy as before. Stay away from its mouth, stay away from the big belly bump. That's what you want to avoid. It'll stagger you. Stay out of its mouth. I need that knot locked on. Now I'm just going to hit you in your face. The Mimic is behind you and you don't stand a chance. there it is. There's the Rao Ruins hippo down. Let's just go back to, let's go to this one. It's nice and scenic over here. No enemies around. We can take in the view before we sit down and level up again. There's Ener Ilum. Once you beat Mesmer and you get his flame, then you go fight Romina and kill her to gain access to the tree that you have to burn. And then Ener Ilum kind of phases back into reality, and then you can go there and final zone and fight the boss. But let's sit down and do this glorious part, because I have fulfilled my obligation to my viewers. I said 14, maybe 15, and there's 15. Now how many do we need? We need 3. Okay, so there are 7 left on offer. I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna do one more special episode. Where we tackle the Golden Hippo, going into the Shadow Keep. We might have to run and grab the Site of Grace outside of his entrance for that. And then we are going to try to take on Commander Gaius, which might take some finagling. There are 2 ways that you can do it, and, you know, I'll get to that in the next episode. So, you know, we are officially done. Thanks, everybody, for coming along, and then stay tuned for the one bonus episode where I try to get us 7 more Scadutree fragments. See, we should at least be able to get 1 level, maybe 2, and we'll see where we end up when we're done. See you in the next one.